Hi guys, quick side note before this video starts, this was filmed really long ago, like I'm talking half a year to almost a year ago, long ago. I'm currently on testosterone, so I sound a little different, just keep that in mind. Also, it's not really good, but I know I filmed it, I just wanted to edit it and upload it more for myself, so enjoy.
Hello people of the internet, it is me, Vincent. It has been a while, I know, I'm not even gonna apologize for it anymore. Accepted. Anyways, today I'm gonna do something I am quite hyped about, which is talking about the entire story of Undertale to you. I'm gonna explain it to you in detail, in a Vincent fashion. At least the true pacifist story of Undertale. So, big lore. Why am I doing this, you might be asking? Or maybe you're not. You clicked on this, your fault. Anyways, I'm doing this, one, because I love Undertale a lot. It's my favorite game. It's my favorite piece of media ever created. I'm even getting an Undertale tattoo, like, soon. Like, on my shoulder, getting a little Napstablook. It's gonna be awesome. But, like, I don't have an outlet, because no one else in my life is this hyped about Undertale, so I can't talk about it. So, I'm gonna talk to you guys about it. A lot of people that I know can't get into it because they don't have the time or the motivation to start a whole new game. Even if that is a short game of, like, 12 hours, they still just can't make themselves do it. So a short summary might help ease that a bit. And maybe make them play the game later in life. You know, maybe. It's just a gateway. It's a gateway drug. Fair warning though, I'm gonna tell this all in a very Vincent manner, which might be a little all over the place, but I made some notes so I keep on track. It's in blue, you can't even, oh, now you can see it. There are like multiple papers. Anyways, again, I lose track very fast, but notes, okay? It might be a bit all over the place, it might be a bit goofy. I just want to explain it to you, okay? Okay. I'm gonna need a lot of water to get through this or my throat will die. Anyways, here is the story of Undertale, told by Vincent. Let me set the scene for you. You started the game and the first thing you're greeted with is this little screen that shows you the beginning story, like what happened before the point where you are right now, okay? A long time ago there were two races, monsters and humans. They couldn't really get along at the time though, and there was a war between them. But the humans easily proved much stronger than the monsters, so they sealed the monsters underground. Then later, you see this little character, this little androgynous person, walking up this mountain, Mount Ebbet. And then you see them tripping over like a little, what do you call that? Vine? Something? Plant thing. And then they fall down the mountain. And that's where the beginning story ends, okay? This is where we are. So now the game has actually started. You're laying on this little bed of golden, yellow flowers, and you walk a bit further. You encounter a flower. He seems really nice. He introduces him to you, and you find out his name is Flowey. He explains to you the fighting, like, mechanics. However, he does it in a fucking mean way. He tells you that you need to catch all the white dots. Those hurt you. Those are the things that kill you. So you find out he's an evil cunt, and Flowey's evil and look out for him, you know. His motto or his quote, whatever, is kill or be killed. Because, you know, he keeps calling you an idiot too. He's just mean. Just mean bitch. So he's almost killing you, but then this goat arises. I like to call her Mother Goat. Her name is Toriel though. So eventually Goat Mother saves you from this evil fucking flower, and you continue walking through the ruins. The ruins is the place you are right now, by the way. Through all this walking, you find out that there are a lot of puzzles everywhere. Apparently the monsters like defending themselves against the humans with puzzles or something. It makes it impossible to walk through everywhere, but they manage. Also, you find out the creator of this fucking game, Toby Fox, loves puns. I mean, for fuck's sakes, Toriel is called Toriel. She's given you the tutorial. More where that came from, I'm telling you. You walk through the ruins, Toriel explains the fighting mechanic to you, but actually like a normal person and like fucking evil flower bitch. I love Flowey, by the way. I don't know why I'm being so mean to him right now. And she has you fight this little dummy, but that's an interesting thing with Undertale. You don't have to fight. You either fight or you act. And if you act, you just talk to them, do some things, and then eventually you can spare them. So you don't have to kill anyone. I mean, you can if you want to, but then you do the genocide route. We're talking about the true pacifist route, so sparing everyone. So she explains that to you, you're just talking to the dummy, everything's cool. Toriel is proud of you. You made your goat mother proud. You continue walking through the ruins with Toriel, and eventually she asks you to stop and stay where you are, or just walk to the end of the room. I don't really remember, sorry. You walk through to the end of the room, and eventually you're like, where the fuck's Toriel? She's standing behind a pillar. So Toriel's like, good job, you didn't die. And also, I wasn't gone, I was just behind this pillar. So Toriel's like, okay, this was just a test. I'm gonna go leave you, like my dad when he went to get the milk, and I'll be back. Stay where you are, okay, child? So, of course, you being you don't listen. You continue walking through the dangerous ruins full of puzzles. You encounter your first fights without Toriel there, and eventually, after some walking, you encounter Naps the Bloke. It's this little sad ghost who's sleeping in the ruins, or he's making a zzz noise to try to see if you'll go away, because he's awkward. He doesn't want to talk to you. He likes being on his own. He's sad, okay? You do his little fight. Everything's cool. He's awesome. I love a sad ghost. You continue on, and eventually you get to this little cute house. It's called Home. How cute. And then you see that's Toriel's house. So you talk to Toriel. She made you a butterscotch cinnamon pie, which I made, by the way, and it's really good. She has a little room for you. It's a cozy little house. You found a family. So, of course, the first thing you do is ask Toriel, hey, when can I leave and how do I exit the ruins? Toriel keeps denying your request, but if you ask enough, she eventually is like, I gotta do something. So, Toriel goes into the basement, and of course you follow her. And you keep following her. This basement is very big. She keeps telling you to go back upstairs. She just wants to care for you like a child. She doesn't want you to have to go through what her previous children went through. What the fuck? So you continue on, and eventually she stands in front of this door, and it's like, if you're gonna leave, I want you to prove that you're strong enough. So you have to fight Goat Mother. You accept the fight with Goat Mother. Well, the fight. She wants you to fight. She wants you to kill her. But you're like, no, I learned from the best Goat Mother that I have to act. However, acting does not work in this fight. The only option you have is either killing her, which you're not going to do because you're doing the pacifist route, or spamming spare. You need to just click on spare until she eventually gives in, because she feels bad for you. So after clicking on spare enough, she lets you go. She gives you a final hug. It's really cute and also really heartbreaking. But now you can continue your adventure again. So you continue through the door, and guess who you encounter? Flowey! He just goes on a little ramble about how it's either kill or be killed, blah blah blah. You just leave him behind or something. I think he just leaves. And now you're in a new area, Snowdin. As you might have guessed, it's covered in snow. You walk for a little bit, and then you encounter some new monsters. Sans and Papyrus. Sans talks in the font Comic Sans. Papyrus talks in the font Papyrus. They're adorable. Sans is a little funny guy, a little funny guy. He likes to make puns, you know? Some people find him annoying. I think he's kind of cute. He's a fucking meme. I think that's why I like him. Papyrus, however, is a bit stupid, but he is like my favorite character from the whole game. He is obnoxious, lovely, and just wants to be part of the Royal Guard and wants to catch a human. However, he has never seen a human, and all of his tactics to catch one don't really work, since you basically just become friends with him. Papyrus keeps trying to catch you once he finds out you're a human, with his lovely spaghetti, which he's shit at making, and all his millions of puzzles that you're just too smart for, you know, or he's too dumb to make them. Anyways, all throughout Snowdin, there are also a lot of dog enemies. Vincent, I know you're bad at editing, but just give me some dogs. Thank you. I love the dogs. They're awesome. I love any fight with any dogs in Snowdin. All the dogs. Dogs. After a while, you get to Snowdin Town, because before this you were in the forest, Snowdin Forest. You walk through the entire town, it's really nice, all the people, they have a little Christmas tree, it's lovely. But at the end of Snowdin Town, you have your Papyrus fight. You think, oh no, I have to fight the cute boy that I love so much. Not really. I mean, you have to fight him, well, act. I just call it fighting, you get the point. We're playing the pacifist route, I never mean fighting. So you fight him. However, there's this one little cute thing. If you lose to him multiple times, he puts you in this little jail, which is just his shed, with bars where you can easily cross through. So you just have to lose like 3 times, and then he'll just let you go. He's like, hey, maybe let's not fight, because he's too sweet to you. I love this man. So eventually you can just leave and do one of 2 things. You can either just go on to the next area, or you can go on a date with Papyrus. You know me, we're going on a date with Papyrus. But yeah, it's also needed, if you want to complete, like, true pacifist, you need to go on this date with Papyrus, otherwise, you're not doing a true pacifist route anymore. So, onto Papyrus's house we go, And he's like, I'm gonna take you to this place. I love this place. It's gonna be the most beautiful place ever, okay? So you meet up in front of his house, and he walks you all the way to the beginning of Snowdon Town, all the way to the back of Snowdon Town, back to his house. That's the beautiful place. I love him. He's so sweet. How can someone not love Papyrus? This is just turning into a Papyrus appreciation post. Anyways, you go into his house, you look around his house a bit, then you go into his room, and you talk. Dating. He doesn't know how dating works. He's adorable. He's wearing his cute little outfit. Vincent, give me the cute little outfit. I know you're shit at editing, but give me an outfit. That he's just always wearing under his regular clothes, apparently. And you do the dating. It's awful. And then he friend zones you. Yes, that hurts. So now that you've done this fight and you're officially friends with Papyrus, he lets you go. And you can go on to the next area. You are now in Waterfalls. The place where the music is absolutely fucking beautiful. The music is beautiful anywhere in the game, but Waterfalls is just mwah, especially, yes. Here you encounter Undyne. Well, you don't necessarily encounter, like, anyone before, like, you don't just talk to them. You hear them from, like, another side of a wall. You hear them talking to Papyrus. Papyrus, my boy, how could you betray me? You find out that Undyne is the head of the Royal Guard, which is not good, because Papyrus wants to be part of the Royal Guard, so he'll just simp his way through getting it. And you're a human, so that's not good. Papyrus is gonna be Undyne's little helper, you know? And Undyne has a huge spear and is out to kill you. So, no good. Undyne doesn't find you, though, because there's this kid standing next to you, Monster Kid. Monster Kid is absolutely obsessed with Undyne. He's like fucking stan culture, but for, you know, Undyne stan. Monster Kid wants to see every and anything he can of... She can? They can? Monster Kid? I'm gonna say Monster Kid's no binary. They just want to see anything of Undyne, so they keep, like, following you-ish, because Undyne keeps searching for you. And she's like, they're like, wow, she's so cool, I want to be just like her. But Undyne's just very pissed that Monster Kid's there and not a human, because, you know, I'm very well hidden. Not. So you continue through Waterfalls, and after a while you find this village. It's not really important to the story, but you find Temmie Village, with these adorable little creatures called Temmies. They don't talk much, they just say, hi, I'm Temmie, and that's it. That's all I need. They're adorable. They also have a little shop, Temmie Shop, where you can scam them. You can buy Temmie flakes, and you can sell them for more than you bought them for. So if you keep doing that, you can buy you can send Tem to college for like 1,000 gold. And then when they come back, they sell Temmie armor, which gets less and less expensive the more you die. So it's fucking OP armor. Anyways, if you want OP armor, Temmie Village. It's a little bit hidden, but it's awesome and adorable, and after you get back of hanging with these adorable little creatures, you go on and keep encountering Undyne a few times. She tries hitting you, and eventually you fall into this trash dump. You continue walking through the trash, trying to get out, and you encounter Mad Dummy. Mad Dummy is pissed off. Why? In the genocide route, this is because you killed one of their, like, family members, the dummy you encountered in the ruins. But Mad Dummy is now mad because the words you said to that dummy, those were not okay. I don't know what I said. I'm innocent, I swear. But you fight them. Their fight is pretty funny. I like it. It's like they shoot things at you and you have to, like, lead them around so they shoot themselves, whatever. It's awesome. So you fight them, you win, and then you continue on. You walk with Monster Kid for a bit, you play piano for a bit, it's awesome. You encounter the annoying dog for the first time. More dog content. We stand, we love. And then you have the actual Undyne fight, which in my opinion is the best fight of the whole fucking game. It's like a little arrow fight. It's like a little rhythm game without, you know, the music. It's just the little arrows, and I love it, and I love rhythm games, and it's awesome. And I've just played Undertale so many times simply to replay that fight. Anyways, after a while of dodging her shit, and then clicking on run and just running away from her, you end up in this new area, Hotlands. The only reason you got away from her, by the way, is because she is wearing a lot of armor, and it's way too warm in Hotlands, so she just falls down, overheating. You throw a little cup of water over her, it's all cool. Anyways, Papyrus is now calling you while you're in Hotlands. It's like, hey yo, bro, so, weird question. You wanna hang out with me and a buddy of mine? Who is this buddy? It's Undyne. So, you wanna just hang out with me and this bitch that just tried to murder you? Of course you want that, because, you know, we're doing the true pacifist route. So what are we doing? We're going to Undyne's house, which is all the way at the beginning of, like, Waterfalls. So Papyrus is already waiting in front of Undyne's house for you. So you just go there like, hey buddy, why am I here? Papyrus just shoves you in front and Undyne opens the door. And Undyne's just like, why is this bitch here that I just tried to kill? But Papyrus likes to make it more awkward and just like, hey, bye bitches. I think he says like, I need to go use the toilet or some shit, and just yeets himself out of the window. So now it's just you and Undyne. But this time of day is normally Papyrus and Undyne's Royal Guard training. What does that mean? Are they like fighting? Is she preparing Papyrus to fight as a Royal Guard? No. She doesn't see real potential in Papyrus, but she does love the guy. So they are cooking classes, and it's adorable. So Undyne is like, okay, you're a friend of Papyrus, and I like Papyrus, so I'm gonna be the best friend you can be. But she's very aggressive about it. I love her though, so it's fine. You do some cooking. However, as I said, Undyne is aggressive. Very aggressive. So her entire house burns down. That's my summary. Her entire fucking house burns down. So you're now with Undyne in front of her house. It's like, shit, my house is burning. So for the remainder of the game, Undyne lives with Papyrus and Sans. Because, her house is kind of, burning. Now you can actually continue on to the next area. Hotlands. The name of this area, again, speaks for itself. It's very hot. So you continue on, you walk, and you go into this lab. It has a sign saying lab above it, so it's a lab. It's completely dark in there, and there's a spotlight on you. You see a big screen with your face on it, and every movement you make, it's tracking you. A bit scary, but you continue walking, you don't think much of it. And then you talk to Alphys, who's standing there in a little lab coat, and she's this little adorable little dinosaur? Yellow thing? I don't know what she is, honestly. And the lights go on. And she talks to you. She's like, hello. I don't know really what she says, actually, but then she talks about this robot she made. Metaton. Metaton is this little boxy bitch with, like, one wheel. And she's like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. He's just, a human-killing robot. But, he's not here, so it's fine. And then Metaton comes bursting through the wall and is like, hello. I am a human-killing robot. So, in true Metaton fashion, he gives you a quiz, because, he loves his audience. He loves giving quizzes and just being on screen. So he starts a quiz, which is practically impossible to complete, but if you really know things, you can click, get through it. Alphys kind of gives you the answer, so it's fine. Eventually, Metaton goes away because you did the quiz or something. I don't really know. And then you continue through the lab. And then Alphys inspects your phone, and it's like, what the fuck? Your phone is so old! Because, I think you got it from Toriel, so you could keep in contact with Toriel while she's away, and also you can keep up with Papyrus, but she's like, the fuck is this shit? So she updates your phone, and now you can receive messages on, like, the social media platform. I don't remember what it's called, it's so bad. Social media platform is called UNDERTALE. It's the only social media they have. Anyways, you continue your way through the lab. You're out of the lab now. But oh my god, Alphys keep spamming your phone, not knowing that you can see their messages, because they keep spamming on UNDERTALE. So they're like, oh my god, there's this anime that I love, because fucking Alphys is the biggest weeb ever. And the biggest just nerd, weeb, whatever, anything. So she keeps spamming about that, and she's like, oh lol, watching the human, whatever, just all that kind of stuff. You make your way through Hotlands, more puzzles are there, whatever. But then we come across our favorite human-killing robot again, Metaton. He's in this little kitchen setting, so we're like, oh fun, we're doing a cooking show, and we're helping him with this cooking show. So, he needs to use human meat. We're not just here to help cooking, we're here to help cooking, if you know what I mean. So you're like, shit, that sucks, but Alphys is in for the win. Alphys has, I think there's, a can of fake human meat somewhere, so you just have to grab it, and then it's fine, and Metaton doesn't need to use you anymore. So the counter rises up into the sky, but you have a jetpack. In a time limit, you can get it, okay? But Metaton keeps throwing flour and eggs at you, so it's hard, but you get the fake human meat. Or if you don't, then it's still fine. You're fine. You're not gonna die yet. You're not gonna die. So Metaton eventually is like, ah, lol, do you not know how cooking shows work, dumbass? We obviously prepared the meal beforehand. It's already out of the oven. Otherwise it would take too long if it has to still go into the oven. So you're fine. You continue through Hotlands after getting a fucking heart attack. And then later there's another Metaton occurrence. He sings this little song to you or something. He was wearing a pretty dress. He looks beautiful. And he's like, oh, how sad that you have to die. Like, I don't have to die. You don't have to kill me. And then you're sent, down, and there's this little practically impossible thing you have to play, like with little tiles, like this tile means this, and this tile means this, and if you stand on this, you're gonna die. So eventually you just don't make it, because it's practically impossible. And then you get closed in by 2 big walls of fire. 2 fire walls. Ha ha ha, laugh. But Alfie stops the firewalls in time, so you're okay. And now you just continue on your way. Finally, you have some time to breathe from this fucking human-killing robot. So now you encounter a big spider bitch. I love her though. I call her Spider Mommy, because Spider Mommy, she's low-key hot. She's a spider though. She's low-key hot. So she's like, I heard from an anonymous source that you hate spiders. You step on them. She's just like all attack mode. And then her fight starts. I think her fight is super fun, but I've only like properly done it like once or twice. Because I didn't know this the first time I played Undertale. You can skip her fight really easily. So you can just do the fight normally if you want to. But if at the beginning of the game, in the ruins, you buy spider donuts or spider cider from this little spider bake sale, you can give it to the spiders and they'll be like, oh no, you bought something from us. You're supportive of spiders. You don't kill spiders. And they just let you go. However, it's a hard fight, and if you want to, you can play it, but just pro tip, spider donuts. They help you. So eventually Spider Mommy lets you go. Her name is Muffet, by the way. I should really clarify names instead of calling everything just Mommy. Spider Mommy, Muffet lets you go. Now you're on your way again. You're now standing in front of this big resort. It's called MTT Resort, because in this fucking underground, why would it not be Mettaton centered? So on the left side, you see Sans standing there, and on the right side, you see like, oh, a little shop. So first you go to the right side, and you see Bratty and Catty, 2 annoying bitches who love gossiping and selling trash. They gossip about this little dude named Burger Pants that apparently works in a resort, and they're just overall mean. I don't like them. Then you go back and you go to Sans. Like, hey yo, Sans, what's up? So Sans takes you to the restaurant in the resort, and you have a little talk. He's like, yeah, a nice lady. I've never met her, but I always played like knock-knock jokes with her through the door. She told me if there's ever a kid coming through his door, I should protect them, or like, I don't know, just be nice to them. And he just starts acting all scary. This funny little man is starting to act all scary. So he's like, I could have killed you already, like, you know, scary bitch. Eventually he's like, jokey personality back. Now you leave the restaurant, all is good. Now you're in MTT Resort. There's a little fountain in the middle, which is broken. There's an elevator, which is broken. And then there's the hotel side, you know, where people are sleeping. Then you go to the little shop, which has Burger Pants. He is just, you know, the stereotype of any mentally unstable teen working retail or whatever. He's a mood. I love him. But you don't have any business there, so you continue walking through the resort. And now you're entering the core. We're in a new area already. Look how fast we are. The core looks all futuristic and shit, and there are, again, a bunch of puzzles. But Alphys is helping you out through everything. Just like in Hotlands, she's just your helping hand all the time. She's so sweet. This would look like you're nearing the end of the game. You're not. That's a lie. Don't let your intuition guide you, because you're not near the end. Trust me, True Pacifist route is long. If you're playing neutral, maybe you're nearing the end. No, you're not. So you continue through the core. The enemies are a bit harder here. It's all fun. You're fine. And then you're at the end of the core. And there's Mettaton. That's fine. He's never bothered you before, like, actually, because Alphys is always there to save you. So Mettaton just tells you, hey, you know, player, Alphys is not actually helping you. I'm not actually a human-killing robot. I dream to be a star. I dream to be fabulous, you know, fucking gay. But he just straight up tells you, like, no, all these threats I've been giving you are fake threats. Alphys just wants to come off as the hero in the story to, like, help you. And you're like, oh shit, man. So he also tells you, like, Alphys is standing outside of this door, so, you know, he can help you and save you. But I'm not gonna let that happen. So the whole, like, thing he's standing on rises up, and Alphys just knocks on the door and is like, hey, why can't I enter anymore? What's up, guys? What's happening? And this is where the most fabulous fight of your life is gonna begin. You turn Mettaton around, and there's this button on his back. You flick it, and now he has this beautiful form. He's tall, he has a lot of pink in his outfit, and he's just all over beautiful and gay. Headcanon, by the way, he's not. Headcanon. So, you fight. He just wants the numbers of his show to go up. He's just like, yas, 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 yas. You know, he's just pulling off all these moves and just having a fabulous show. So this continues on, and eventually you beat him by looking fabulous. His beautiful long legs and arms and everything just malfunctioned, so sorry Alphys, but you gotta rebuild Metatoni X, which is, by the way, what he's called after his transformation. Slay. So you leave the fight, you go to this elevator at the end of the core, the actual end of the core this time, and Alphys is just like, oh, sorry, like, I'm sorry for lying and being a little bitch, and just explains to you like, oh, I just wanted to be liked, and I kind of feel sorry for her, I'm being a bitch right now, but, you know, what? You're a bitch. So you take the elevator, and now you're in this new area. I think it's technically called New Home, but I'll just call it Castle because it looks like a fucking castle. It's all like gray and shit. And you keep walking, and eventually you see these 7 caskets lined up, all different colored hearts on it, and the last one is open and there's nothing in it. And it just has a name on it. It's your name. It's a name you chose for your player. So you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. So, you go back, and you go into this, like, castle. And you find out that this is Asgore's home. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Asgore is the king of the underground. The person who needs 7 souls to cross through the barrier. And maybe I should have mentioned this before, but the whole thing of the game is that you're trying to leave the underground. And there's a barrier stopping you from that. And there's 1 human soul needed for you to just cross the barrier. So 1 monster and 1 human can cross the, barrier. But to let the entire underground go, we need 7 human souls. So Asgore is trying to kill every single human that falls into the underground. You're the last one. There are already 6 souls captured. But, you're kind of trying to avoid that, so you can just go your jolly way out of the underground through the barrier. But he's gonna try to kill you. So, you're in his house now. Fuck. His house looks like identical to Toriel's house. However, everything is just gray now. So you look through everything, you find some keys to go to the basement. While you're walking through Asgore's house and through the basement, there are monsters stopping you the entire time, not to fight you this time, it's not like an enemy encounter, but they're stopping you to tell you a story of what actually happened. So, long ago, this is not about you. A human fell into the underground. This was the first human. This was before they tried to cross the barrier. And Azrael, which is the son of Asgore, brought this human home with him. The human was quite sick though, and the human's last wish was just really to see the flowers back in their hometown. However, the human died before that. Azrael was so sad about this, and Azrael just absorbed the human soul and crossed the barrier. After Azrael crossed the barrier, he went into the village of this human. He brought this human to see the flowers, or just to lay him in the flowers. But the humans there in that village saw him and were like, a monster holding a dead human? Okay, this monster killed this human. So the humans started attacking Azrael. And Azrael, with the power of 1 human soul, which is, by the way, almost the same as the power of all, monster souls combined, could have easily killed the humans. But he didn't. He just stayed there and didn't do anything. So Azrael, very wounded, went back and died in the underground. And after this all happened, the king and queen were obviously super sad because they lost 2 children in 1 day. So Asgore had decided that any human that fell down the underground from this point on shall be killed, simply just so they can all cross the barrier and finally be free again. Because, a human, even though the human was dead and the human was very loved in this family, was just technically the reason that your son got killed. The queen wasn't okay with this and left Asgore, but Asgore kept going, and now we're here. After your long journey, you're finally there. You're finally at the barrier. Asgore is already waiting for you in front. He knew you were coming. But he's not like the violent monster you were thinking of when you heard all these horror stories about him killing humans. He's just truly a father mourning the loss of his children, and just a man who wants to be free and just does what he has to do. He's very nice to you. He just tells you that if you still want to do things in the underground, you can go back, you can just say goodbye to everyone, you can just have a good time. He wants you to be prepared for this moment. You go on and you fight him. This is the first and only fight where you cannot act. You cannot spare him, because he quite literally grabs his, what is it called, his weapon, I'm just gonna call it his weapon, and he yeets away the spare button. There is no spare button. The only buttons you can use are fight, act, and item. Acting won't result in anything. This is the first fight where you have to fight. So you fight him until he's low health, and he kinda almost gives up. But then, he dies. How, you ask? Flowey. Flowey walks in and sees that the king is very low health. He kills the king. Because, you know, keeping to Flowey's motto, kill or be killed, you know? So, shit, you're in front of Flowey again. But now, slowly you can see this big monster in front of you. His name is Omega Flowey, or Photoshop Flowey, because he's just a part of like a bunch of images and, oh god, you're in front of Flowey. You're in front of Omega Flowey. And he is strong. However, you got the 6 previous human souls to help you, because, you know, their soul is still there, because whatever, human souls keep on living after death. Monster souls immediately die out. So, the 6 human souls help you through it. The souls each have a meaning. One is patience, one is justice, one is bravery, integrity, perseverance, and kindness. You are determination. They all have a different color, you're red. Red is determination. This is important. So you fight Flowey, and even if you die, the game crashes, but once you start it up again, you are just left off from where the last soul helped you. It's quite easy to do. So you finish the fight with Omega Flowey, but he's like, I can like manipulate the game files. It's like fourth wall breaking, you know? It's like, I can manipulate the game files. I've done this 1,000,000 times. I'm so bored here. I'm just replaying everything over and over, doing everything I can, killing everyone I can. He's just, you know? So you're like, shit, I can't do anything anymore. I'm just dead. I'm gonna keep being in this loop of being killed over and over and over again until he gets bored. But he keeps being like, come on, try to ask for help. Keep clicking on act, see how it works out for you. Nothing happens, nothing keeps happening. But then the 6 souls all come together with you, and defeat Omega Flowey. And this looks like the end of the game, but oh, my friend, you're wrong.
I missed a really big part here of the story, so I was gonna type it out over the video, but I think doing this is gonna explain it a lot better. So first of all, you don't just kill Flowey and it abruptly ends. You kill Flowey, but then he's like, are you gonna spare me or are you gonna fight me? You click spare, obviously. Then he asks you again and again. And you need to do this 3 different times, and then eventually he accepts it. He lets you spare him. But he's just like, you learn nothing from this. It's still kill or be killed, blah, blah, blah. Just the whole Flowey thing. And then Flowey showed you how everyone would be doing after Asgore died, and after you just went up to the humans again, and just lived like a normal person. And he's like, do you really want that? Do you want to bring everyone this much pain and whatever? He's like, I have a way. I have a way for you to just redo everything, and just restart. Just restart your game, restart your save file, and you'll be back. You'll just be back, nothing would have happened, Asgore is still alive, and just visit Dr. Alfie, see how that will go for you. And that's where we are right now. Sorry for this little explanation, I think it was necessary. Thank you for listening.
So, I think you get a call from, like, Sans or Papyrus, be like, hey, come visit. So you go to Papyrus and Sans' house. Undyne is there. So Undyne's like, hey, bro, can you deliver this letter for me? And you're like, okay, sussy. And she's like, I'll fucking kill you if you read this letter. She's like, okay, Undyne, okay, I'll do what you want. So you need to deliver it to Alfie's. So you go back to Hotlands, you go to the lab. The door is locked though, so you shove this letter under the door, and you wait, and then Alfie's comes out and is like, was this meant for me? Like, what's up? Apparently it was a love letter. Homosexuality, we love. However, Undyne didn't, like, end the letter with her name, so now, us in front of the door, letter under, like, Alfie's door, it seems like it came from us. So Alfie's like, oh, I'm flattered. So she's like, yeah, let's go on a date. But it ends up being like a fake date to practice dating for Undyne. Because Alfie's is madly in love with Undyne, like, for everything she says and does, it's very obvious. So it turns into a practice date. So they go to, like, the trash place, the place where people put trash, whatever. Because that's Alfie's favorite spot. So they go on this fake date, Alfie looks lovely in her little dress. And then Undyne comes by. And Undyne's like, hey, have you seen, like, Alfie's? I, like, rethought I shouldn't have given that letter. Alfie's hides. Like, goes into his trash can or some shit. And they're like, no, I don't, what are you talking about? But eventually, I think they find out they like each other and they're gay. It's canon gay, we love it. So yeah, that. And then Papyrus is there too for some reason. I think they're gonna go training or something. I don't know. The ending of the pacifist route is weird. But yeah, we got Undyne x Alfie's confirmed. Adorable. But then you continue on because Alfie's, I think, doesn't want to be with Undyne because she keeps being like, oh, I'm lying, I'm a liar. She wouldn't like me if she actually knew who I was. So you're like, okay, Alfie's, calm down, what the fuck? So eventually you go into her lab again, and there's this elevator that you couldn't previously go into, and there's a letter on the floor. So you read the letter on the floor, and it basically comes down to what I just said. Like, oh, I'm a liar, no one would like me. If I don't come back, like, whatever. Okay, sussy. So you go into the elevator. And now you're entering another new area. The True Lab. Oh shit, it's gonna get scary in here. Like any other area, the music here slaps. You walk in, and there's this, like, funky music playing. It's lovely. It's a bit scary. The vibe is weird. So you walk in, and you see all these little electric, like, notes on the side explaining what's, like, kind of happening here. So apparently, Alphys was doing, like, experiments on dead monster souls that she could, like, persevere after death somehow and inject them with determination, because that's probably what, like, what keeps, like, human souls going, right? So she injects these monster souls with determination, but it kind of goes wrong. And all the families of these deceased monsters are like, hey, where are, like, the bodies of my deceased, what's up, what's happening? And she, like, can't bear with it anymore. She's like the royal scientist, and she's like, shit, I don't know what's going on. She just keeps going, and hopefully it works out. And one day she tries to do this for the king. So she tries to do this for Azrael, and I think she mixed, like, Azrael with, like, a golden flower. Flowey is Azrael. But, like, in sort of, like, evil version. I'll get into that later. Walking through the True Lab, you also encounter all these amalgamates, which are just, like, a bunch of different monsters merged together into one. Because, you know, Alphys kind of fucked up. So they can't go back to their old families because, you know, they're merged together with other people. So it would be fucked and awkward if it messes up now. But you keep walking through the True Lab, and eventually you get to this, like, one point. So, like, I think fix the elevator. But now you're, like, cornered with, like, 4 different amalgamates. But Alphys comes and saves the day, this time for real, and just feeds the amalgamates like they're little pets. So you continue on with Alphys through the elevator, and you're back. Thank you, Alphys, this time for real. Lovely. Now you walk back to the end, to New Home, the castle. And this is Asgore Fight Part 2! How fun! You're doing this again! As I said, every time you feel like you're getting close to an end with this game, you're not. It just keeps getting longer, but I love it. More content, am I right? But now that you found out, like, Alphys' truth, everything is cool. You know, everything is cool. Just fight Asgore, get through the barrier, everything is fine. But the catch this time is you're not actually fighting Asgore. Before the fight can even begin, someone hits him away. Who is this mystery person? Toriel! Goatmother is back! You find out that Toriel used to be the queen, which is pretty logical. Asgore, Toriel, Azrael, it makes sense. So you find out that she used to be the queen, and she's, like, kind of pissed about their divorce. She's like, Asgore, you know, and Asgore is still, like, in love with her. She's like, oh, sorry. And after Toriel appeared, like, more and more of your friends appear. We got Undyne, Alphys, Sans, Papyrus, everyone's just there. But then someone asked, I think it's Alphys, like, asked the question, like, how did we know we had to be here? And Papyrus was like, oh, a friendly flower told me to gather everyone here. Flowey is back. For fuck's sake. So, Flowey captures all your friends. It's like, oh shit, this is not good. But all your friends keep helping, keep fighting against Flowey. Everyone just fights. All is good. And then this child appears. It's Azrael. But now shit's getting real. Because Azrael is very unstable. In flower form, he's very angry and just pissed off at everything, and he's just evil. As Azrael is like a child, he's just sad. He just wants his friend. He just wants his friend back. He's just sad, okay? So, out of sadness and frustration, he captures all souls of the underground. Every single monster. He just absorbs their soul. And now you're fighting Azrael Dreamer, which is, like, technically, like, an older version of Azrael, I think. He's tall. He's tall now. He's the wings, it's all cool. But the song Hopes and Dreams plays. It's super cool. And this fight is just awesome. But all your friends have been captured, like, in, like, soul form. You need to help them regain their memories so they can, like, help you fight too. So, with acting, you, like, do that, and all is well. All the memories of all your friends have been, like, regained. It's awesome. Azrael lets go of all the, like, monster souls, and I think that's what broke the barrier. You're free! Everyone is free! It's lovely! But Azrael's back into tiny Azrael form, and this is when it gets sad. I cried at this part so many times. It's, heartbreaking. So Azrael just starts explaining everything, like how he switched out between Flowey and Azrael, like all that stuff, and how he's very unstable and you should get away from him. And also that your name is not the name you chose at the beginning of the game. Everyone just mistakes you for that because you really look like that. the name you chose. So let's say, for example, I just choose Vincent, right? They're like, oh, yeah, we all called you Vincent because you looked like the first human that fell down here. So then Azriel finally asks, hey, what's your name? Frisk. You're playing as Frisk. The player is named Frisk. So Vincent, in this instance, is the dead human that Azriel died for. So you find all that out, and eventually you comfort him, you give him a hug. It's so sad. You cry. Like, I think Azriel cries too, it's awful, but you're just a lookalike. Everyone just mistaked you for Vincent, you know? And the barrier is now destroyed, so you can go. But before you go through the barrier and go back to your family or wherever you're gonna go, you can go through the entire underground. You can talk to every single, like, monster you fought. Just anyone. So, you know, you do your last goodbyes, and then you go out of the barrier. All your friends follow you, so you got Alphys, Undyne, Mother Goat, Asgore, Papyrus Sans, everyone's there. The rest of the monsters will follow later, I'm assuming. And you all watch the sun. And Sans just, Papyrus is like, oh, Sans, is that the sun? It's awesome, and it's so cute. And everyone slowly leaves, and then you're left with Mother Goat. And Mother Goat is like, hey, do you, like, have a family, or what's the idea? And you're like, well, you have an option here, but I always choose Mother Goat, Toriel, can I stay with you? If you just said that at the beginning of the game Frisk, this would have been a lot easier. You could have just vibed in the underground. But you go together with Mother Goat, wherever you're off to, and everything is awesome. That's the end of Undertale, the best game ever made. I had so much fun explaining this just with this stupid camera. No one's gonna care, no one's gonna watch this, but God did I have fun. Also, the Undertale posters in the back. It's beautiful. I also have a little, like, wall art of, like, a Deltarune character. But to end this off, I want to say one thing. If you want me to explain more franchises, ask me, please. I am in so many fandoms, and I can barely talk about anything. Like, for example, Poppy Playtime, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, any creepypasta thing, Dream SMP, so many things. Fucking Bendy and the Ink Machine. I'm into fucking everything. If you want something explained, Five Nights at Freddy's. If you want something explained, ask me. I love talking about this shit, and this was so fucking fun. Maybe the next part I'm gonna make is about Deltarune, because it's kind of like a sequel, it's alternate universe, whatever. And I also am madly in love with that game. I'm madly in love with anything Toby Fox does, but thank you for watching this all the way through. I really appreciate it. I love you guys, and I think that was it for today. Mwah.